I've been doing this for about a month now. I got a surprising amount of support, although it's still not enough. I wouldn't have thought that such an issue would generate such great perplexity in today's world. I was surprised when I received emails. For a while I felt like I was all alone in this thing and completely pointless. Then an email came, then the next, and today, on the 28th of May 2023, I have received 31 emails from different young people. There are girls and boys, but mostly boys. Now I have brought 4 stories from these. I changed the names, but not the essence of the story itself, but condensed them. If you have a story to share with me, send it too. It's even better if you have a video recording. If you allow me to share your story, I will publish it in time. So let's see 4 things that happened. I was 13 years old. My coach said that he is going to put a girl in the team because she is very good. All the team members asked him not to do this because we don't want him to. He only said to this, "Let's be men and fight." Do you know what she looked like? It was a bomber. Nice breasts, soft skin. There were 8 of us with him. Only one boy could beat the girl. When I fought him, I had the most humiliating experience of my life. You could see into her breasts. He always, accidentally, grabbed my balls with his hands. I got such an erection at the end that I thought I was going to pass out. She beat me quite easily, even though I was physically stronger than her. The way she struggled and the things you mentioned, for example, I couldn't hold her upper body because there were huge, beautiful breasts. We boys aren't used to hugging each other's groin, so I didn't do that to the girl either. Of course, this was not true for the girl. When I lost, even my coach laughed at me. It was very, very humiliating. I stopped wrestling after that, even though I loved it. I talked to the other guys not long ago because of your video. It turned out that she did the same with them. No one said anything about it because it would have been very cheesy. It was humiliating and mean. I have a brother who is much older than me. He said that wrestling makes sense even as a girl. It's a very good sport. At first, during the few training sessions, there were no problems. I really enjoyed it. Then came a smaller championship, which was organized between 2 clubs. This is where I first had to fight boys. I didn't want them to touch me. I was an 11-year-old girl. I didn't even know what a penis was or what boys looked like. Then in the first game he came up against me, a boy with bulging pants. In retrospect, I don't think he had an erection. I don't know if he could have. The point is that I couldn't do anything against him. His every touch was the fiery ripening itself. I played 2 more games with boys and I didn't understand why I had to fight with them. My brother said that it was because I would get better and stronger. As a little girl, I accepted this and really got better. I had no regard for them. I applied all the techniques I learned. A few years later, when I looked back at one of these fights, I saw that I had humiliated the boy while he was fighting under me. I didn't know what the groin grip caused. However, it was my brother who taught me that it is easiest against boys. He was right. After a couple of these moves, I usually won. Only now, with an almost grown-up head, did I realize why. Now it feels a bit like we were sexually harassing each other. This caused me a lot of frustration later on. I don't know why my brother liked it. I don't know why it was good for others. I know it wasn't good for us. Isn't that pedophilia? They never asked if we wanted it. There's no point anyway. At 11 to 12 years old, you don't even know what's around you. I was also made to fight girls. I didn't want to. I protested inside. Of course, I never told them because I was afraid they would scold me. I thought I was the bad guy, that I didn't want to fight girls. I thought it was normal. A few years later, I realized that it wasn't true. I'll tell you honestly, I'm gay, but I wasn't always like that. What led you to this point? This is difficult to answer, but it must have had something to do with the fact that, as a young boy, I was forced to have almost intimate relationships with girls. Ever since then, I shudder when I think of him pushing me to the ground. I could smell it. My penis was erect, but I constantly felt guilty about it. I feel like a piece of shit. I had to fight with girls again and somehow after each time I became less and less. Not because I looked down on girls. You know, when I slept at night, sometimes I opened my eyes and thought how much better it would be if I only fought with boys. Not because I was Sandy, no way. At first I regularly masturbated on girls. I also had a favorite newspaper with good girls. But what you said in your video was absolutely true. I really enjoyed doing it for one of my female classmates because I had a strong liking for her. Life brought it in such a way that I had to fight it on the sports field. From then on, everything changed. That was too fast for me. At the age of 12, I didn't want to touch girls. Why would I want to? I barely knew myself. I didn't dare to tell anyone. I was terrified that they would think I was a woman hater. The biggest problem is that as a child you accept what you are told. I don't understand why the coaches didn't understand that this is not good. Not long ago, I talked to a couple of my friends about your videos and it turned out I'm not alone. I'm so glad you got into this. You're going to have a hard time. Thanks for listening to the stories. If you have a story, share it with me. Let's help them understand how harmful this is. My email address can be found in the profile of my channel.